welcome to Tech24 with me, Rebecca Bowring. Coming up in the programme, everything you've ever liked, pinned and tweeted all in one place at one time. Bring together digital content from your favourite services, then search through it. We'll meet the founder of JOLICLOUD, a platform that manages your personal data. Plus, Apple wins its patent war with Samsung in court. So what does the verdict mean for the future of smartphones? We'll turn the spotlight on the Galaxy S3 and ask whether the ruling is good for innovation. Now, it can be hard keeping tabs on your digital content, be it a photo shared on Facebook, a favourite tweet or a Tumblr blog post you'd like to remember. We're constantly sifting through and posting stuff online and then losing track of it. That's why my guest this week founded JOLICLOUD, a library that aggregates personal data and makes it easy to search. Tarek Krim, welcome to the programme. You came up first of all with a cloud-based desktop, JollyOS, and afterwards you launched a service called JOLICLOUD Me. What makes you different from other social sharing platforms?
So I think the basic assumption when we started JOLICLOUD is our life are increasingly going digital, but there's no coming back. It means that everything we do today is going to be here for the rest of our lives. And how do I organize my life online? I came with the simple idea. I'm posting things all the time, photos, videos, and at the same time I was thinking about my mom who has photos of me and my brothers when we were kids in the living room. Today, the equivalent of this is some photo you have on Flickr or Instagram or Facebook. What happens to this 10 years from now? So that was how we started. How can we organize people's life? And how can we give the control back to the people? How can I manage my own life?
So how are you giving that control back to people? Because there's a privacy debate raging. Who owns something that's been uploaded to the cloud?
So before going to the question of who owns what, the first question we try to answer is, what do I have? So all these different services, Facebook, Twitter, they all have what we call APIs. It means that you can connect through the system and access your data. So we try to figure out if we could connect to Facebook and find everything you have done, a video you posted on your wall 2 years ago, a photo you had posted 5 years ago, anything you liked, everything you cared about. Same thing on Twitter, same thing on Flickr, same thing on all these different services. And we found it extremely hard to actually figure out exactly what you have.
And you've called it the Google of yourself, the Google for yourself, meaning that you make the search capacity a very important part of what the service provides.
Absolutely. I think it's important not only to be available, to have access to all this content and be able to search. Well, what is about this photo I had 2 years ago? I don't remember exactly. I just go and search on JOLICLOUD and I can find it. So the idea is really to build the equivalent of what Google did for the open web, but for your digital life.
Which leads me on to my next question. What does Google make of you guys? Because with Google Chrome OS, it could be said there's an overlap in sort of aims and values. What do they think of you?
Well, I think Google has always been quite an interesting company. On our side, we think that we've been in the same direction. The web is the next interface. And how can we build a better experience? We believe as an independent player, we're not tied to Google, we're not tied to Facebook, Twitter, and all the other companies. We can provide a better experience. This is what we try to do with JOLICLOUD. But I know Google has similar views and trying to figure out how to rule our lives. But we believe that people, ultimately you should be in control of your life. Neither Google, Facebook, or Twitter.
So that's how you define a primary difference between
Absolutely.
The two of you. Now, you also founded a digital dashboard called NetVibes. How did that evolve into JOLICLOUD? Are they linked at all?
I think the same idea is about simplicity. I always try to simplify. I think we're in a world where increasingly the complexity is everywhere. So when I started NetVibe at the time, there was the pre-blog era, and we anticipated a huge growth of news, and the idea of NetVibe was helping people to focus on their news every day. Same news every day, giving people the power to focus. With JOLICLOUD, the idea is more about our life being distributed all over the cloud, and how can we give it the ability to unify, to give me access to all my life in one place.
So you have also been helping us to try and deal with this kind of information overload, both
Yes.
what we create and what has been created. So tell us, what is the next step for JOLICLOUD? Because you're going to release your second iteration very soon, aren't you?
Yes, the first idea was to build a desktop, to give you a home page for the cloud, giving you access to all your data through all the service you have. So all your life in one page is pretty much the idea. But we think there's something more important. It's to figure out what are the things that matters so much that you want to preserve them for the rest of your life. And what we're trying to build today is the ultimate time machine, the ultimate way to keep forever. Absolutely.
Thanks very much,
Thank
Tarek.
you.
Stay with us. We're talking patent wars next. Samsung will be a cool $1 billion out of pocket after paying damages to Apple, winner of the first round of their epic patent dispute. A California jury ruled that some of the Korean giant's products illegally copied software and designs exclusive to Apple's iPhone and iPad. Apple's lawyers want Samsung's most popular handsets pulled from shelves in the US. Samsung has vowed to appeal. Tarek, I noticed you retweeted on Twitter this: "We can all be grateful that the guy who invented the steering wheel wasn't working for Apple." Is that representative of what you think of this ruling?
Well, I think that was a quote from John Perry Barlow, who was the founder of the Electronic Frontier Foundation. On patents, I think I always had my vision is that software patents shouldn't be allowed. In Europe, thanks God, we don't have this. Because today, people can patent not only project, but also pieces of project that doesn't allow you, if someday you want to build a service that needs to use one piece, you can't do it because someone else, maybe Apple or Google or Motorola or one of his companies, Microsoft, will tell you can't.
Let's pick up the phone a second. You have yourself a Samsung Galaxy S3, don't you? And it's one of the flagship phones from Samsung, their Android handsets. And like its predecessor, the S2, it's not particularly affected by this ruling. But I'm interested to know, what do you like about this phone and what do you think is innovative on Samsung's part?
So disclaimer, I have to admit, I'm kind of an iPhone user. I really love the iPhone. It's my primary phone. But I think Samsung is doing amazing stuff. I think that the problem of Samsung is that they have so much money in R&D. They can provide gorgeous screens, gorgeous technology. It's a hardware company. But when it comes to software, to innovation, Apple definitely leads the pack. And the problem of Samsung, they will, in the future, will have to figure out how do they go the Android route with Google? But don't forget, Google acquired Motorola, that is a competitor to Samsung. Or will they build their own service? I think for Samsung, the try is an opportunity to figure out what will be next. And I think they need to invest in software. And
it could be good for us in the end, you know, if there are lots of innovative solutions
Absolutely.
To these problems. Thanks very much for being my guest. It was lovely having you along, and thank you for watching this edition of Tech24. As ever, give us your thoughts on the show via our Facebook page, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter. And finally, rumour has it the iPhone 5 will be with us in September as the hype cranks up. Spoof promotional videos also abound. This one from the team at Smosh tackles some of the iPhone 4's biggest complaints and suggests jokey solutions.
If you're sure you meant to type each word.
Do your homework, Billy.
Are you sure you meant to type do, or did you mean to type so?
Do.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, next word. Did you mean to type your, or did you mean to type beaver?
To really give Siri a soul, we're giving you the option to change her voice to the most soulful voice in the world.
Hi y'all, I'm Morgan Freeman.
Hi, Morgan Freeman! So